Hey
Hey,
everyone.
um,
Well, straight into it. Welcome to the Soap Wire podcast brought to you by the TV Game. And this is where you get me and Neen's our thoughts on our stories. And Soap Wire is sponsored by Katie Waltman Jewelry. It offers elegant handcrafted pieces from stockable rings and gold filled charm necklaces featured in L, In Style, and Oprah.com. Also worn by celebrities such as Molly Sims. So be sure to use the promo code SOAPWIRE. That's together, not apart. Welcome to the SoapWire podcast, everyone. I am Ashley Sheree, and this is
hey y'all, it's your girl Deneen.
Girl. So getting started, we actually have breaking news. So apparently Ari Zucker, because I looked it up because I like to make sure I have people's names right. So Ari Zucker, who used to play Nicole on Days of Our Lives for about 20 years, she filed a lawsuit against Days of Our Lives production and a former executive producer. Albert Alar. So apparently now it has been settled. I hope she gets the piece that she needs, because no one should have to go through that. And then also, I do wonder if now can Nicole officially be recasted? So we shall see. Have you heard of any other breaking news? That was all I had.
I'm not like I was thinking about it as you said it. Nothing stands out. If we missed anything, you'll know we'll totally talk about it next week.
Exactly, exactly. So, you know what that means? Going right into Beyond the Gates, BTG in the building. Okay, so last week they had Dougie's funeral and Donnell still wants answers. I do like him, and I feel like the young man that plays him, he's doing very well in like his grief and everything of that nature. But it was still weird for me pertaining to Dougie's funeral that the daughter wasn't there. Ain't nobody stopping me from going to my parents'
Yeah.
funeral. I'm sorry. And not no sickness. I would have had doubled the mask up. And I like I said too, I think I said this last week as well, because I think this week it was she's sick. And she watched it through live stream or something like that. And I was just like, really?
Oh,
I would have, I mean, they didn't show us anyway, so she could have been there. I don't know. Your thoughts?
they didn't, and I think that that was one of my things about it. Is like it was our first like funeral. Like we had the wedding scene,
Mm-hmm.
so I think when we had Bill and Haley's wedding, and it was like legit a wedding, the audience, people were there. I think that that's something that we looked forward to when it came to the first funeral as well. And
Yes.
it wasn't like I think we saw like memorial cards at the country club, and that was it. Everybody
Yep.
was black. So I'm thinking we're getting ready for the ceremony, and then boom, it's like
Oh,
Danny and
over.
Nicole back at the house. Ain't no repass, like we ain't do no burial, nothing. Okay, all right, maybe y'all doing things a little different. So I was
Nothing.
looking forward to like a full blown Doug memorial service. But I think that also just feeds into my Dougie ain't really gone theory.
Oh, I like that. I mean, we could definitely go with that because you know what they always say, there wasn't a body. So with soaps, if there ain't no body, you could always bring them back. So I do feel like sometimes, of course, like with BTG, there are gonna be some things, some consistency issues or things that they dropped because they dropped the storyline too with Smitty who was talking to someone on the phone. They do that sometimes. So it would be great to see them actually pick this up. Who knows when, but that he was playing behind the scenes or he met with an FBI agent and tried to like, something to jazz it up. So well, we'll definitely see. But also I wanted just to talk about they talked more about Naomi's pregnancy too.
Yes.
Um that Monday, I believe. And I thought it was really good and really relatable. I just really want to see where they go with this because and this is just me speaking from experience of being a working woman who also had ideas about maybe one day starting a family, but then sometimes coming to the realization that, you know what, I do want to make sure that my professional life is where it is, needs to be. So I just thought that it was just refreshing and real. Like I really enjoy when they actually have like real topics and real crucial conversations. And even though I did feel like Jacob really wasn't hearing her though, like that was my thing. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I think for me, I don't know. It was a little different. I think it's the couples therapist side of me that was coming out. Like I was able to hear both perspectives. Um, I think Naomi had even at one point in the conversation was like, we've talked about this in the past, what it would be like if I were to get pregnant, because that's also an issue that you have with couples is that they don't have these conversations, but they're like, oh, now that we're married, now that we're together, the expectations and goals that they have individually, they think that their partner is just supposed to agree.
Mm,
And it's like, Jacob is like, oh, I'm going to be a father. Oh, I'm so excited. So he probably had these plans as well. And now it's like my wife, the person who I think is the one I'm going to do this with, is telling me, oh, she don't want to have my baby. And like, it's like a hurtful perspective from him. While at the
hmm.
same time, Naomi is like, well, I need you to also have consideration that I'm the one that's going to have to sit down. Like I'm
Yep.
the one that's going to have my life altered. But I think it's like a conversation. What do you both consider to be partnership?
Mm,
Because it's different for each
yeah.
person and it's different for each couple.
And then like also, but when things like this happen, when you guys had a conversation and agreed upon not having children, but oops, this has happened, then it's like, well, what do we, do now? Like, what does this
Yes,
look like,
yes, yes.
Um, and it just
And
looks, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think a lot of it too for me was Naomi was, well, what are people going to think?
Yeah.
And it's like, is this for you or is this also for an image that you think you're supposed to portray?
Think it could be like both. And then also, unfortunately, I did see a little bit of Monday's episode. I think it trickles in from her childhood too. So we'll talk about that like next week. But I do feel like it's both. I think she's also with this social construct of what we think it's supposed to be. So like as a woman, it's always supposed to be like you get married, you have kids, and
It's
that's
like
just what it
societal
is.
expectations. And then
Y-
like, but you're multifaceted, like you have different roles. You could be mommy, you could be wife, you can also be this bomb ass lawyer. Like it doesn't have to be either or. You can live in a world of and in both. And I
Yeah.
think, that's something that needs to be pushed more, not only for couples, but for people in general.
True, true. And it's just also knowing what can you handle
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, if your work is priority for you and you feel like if and also I have seen women who really do take their work ethic, they just do not play and they miss a lot of time with their children and people do look at them like they're crazy. And even if the man is a stay-at-home dad and he takes care of everything just like a woman would be doing if she was the stay-at-home person. So then it's just like, oh, well, this societal construct that you're supposed to be home and you're supposed to be taking care of the kids. But if we agreed upon this and it works for us, it's really none of your business. So for
Yeah.
Naomi, I'm also looking at it too as like you may not know how this is essentially going to like work in your life and you did not want children at all, period. So, but now what do you do? So, like I said previously, how are you going to move forward? At the end of the day, that is a woman's body. She could do what she wants to do with it. But also, since she is married, it does look a little different because now we need to talk about it. I mean, and there have been situations where it just doesn't work out because the woman's like, no, this is not what I envisioned for my life. And that's just what it is. And other times women concede and it's great and it works out for them. And other times they concede and it doesn't work out for them. I think
Mhm.
everyone is just an individual person and they have to figure out how to make this work with each other. And then also if you're in a marriage, it's just like, who child? Like that's why they always say marriage is hard. So, which is why I'm not married. So,
Teamwork. And if I was gonna say, if you're in Illinois, come sit on the couch and we can talk about it too.
one day when I go visit Chicago again, I'm gonna come on through. But also it did look like Martin and Smitty reconnected. I was telling
Yes, another
me
marriage that is doing things differently too.
that are doing things differently. Um, I do feel like Smitty is not playing. Low key, I felt like when he said, sit down, I was telling him it just reminded me of Martin. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. That was like the first thought. It kind of like took me out of the scene because I'm like, I chuckled. But it I don't know. Sometimes like I do like Martin, still trying to figure him out. Smitty has his moments as well. Once again, nobody is perfect. They're, multi-layered and dynamic relationship, like all of that. But I don't know about how I feel about him, just like moving back in. I would have rathered us see them actually go to therapy and work through some of their issues because they have a lot of different issues going
Yeah.
on. Like not just one, it's multiple.
And I'm glad that you brought that up because it was the conversation that Smitty had with Nicole for me that stood out so much because she is the therapist on screen that's supposed to be representing mental health.
Mhm.
And I did not like that conversation at all because it basically, Smitty had like she asked Smitty, what are you doing? Like, how do are you sure about this? And it's like you're putting your opinions
Projecting.
of marriage, yes, onto him, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not the person to give second chances, but you are. If that's something that works for you, like, you don't have to make him second guess him as well.
Yeah.
Even asking him what did it for you, what changed. And he was like, he walked out that door. Like, when he
Mm.
walked out that door, the house is different. Everything felt different. And honestly, Smitty is admitting something that Nicole is afraid to admit to herself.
Yep.
It feels different without Ted there, and you've been fighting him and everybody else because you don't want to say that.
Yep. I mean, call a spade a spade. A truth is the truth. Yeah, because it did feel like it felt like I previously said, it felt like projection because she hasn't worked out her issues with Ted. Like they haven't really talked. It's very short. It's very curt and snooty and snotty. Especially on Nicole's end. Of course, I think she has the right to do it because I mean she's hurt. So this is her way of expressing her pain of being married to someone for a couple of decades and they actually not only cheated on you, but they had a child. So I do give her that pass, but also in the same token, if Smitty wants to make it work with his man, then let him make it work with his man. Like that's just,
No,
what it is.
It's not your place as one, his mother-in-law, to
Mm-hmm. To
talk him
question.
out of it. And then as a professional, we
Yes.
don't offer opinions, we don't offer advice. We make you feel comfortable with using your own voice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't put your voice onto him.
And you can't like, and now it's like she's blending the family dynamic and the doctor psychiatrist
Yes.
dynamic. You can't do both, sis. Like pick a lane and stay in it. Say I'm gonna put my psychiatrist hat on, or I'm putting on my mother-in-law mother hat, ex future ex-wife hat. Choose a lane, sis. But because, and this is what I hate. I actually did a TikTok on it for Soapwire, just about how they continue to write Nicole as someone who is extremely judgmental, someone who basically feels that it's their way or no way, and
Yeah.
the person who like knows it all. So we have essentially seen this with Danny numerous times, but the thing with Danny is she does call her out. Like, and also the thing with that too, I do feel like she's more receptive to her sister calling her out about her actions
Anybody
versus
else?
anybody else.
I feel
She
that. Yeah, that's real.
she takes it more from Danny. And I'm like, so like noted there because Danny will tell her about herself like anytime. And this is why I also appreciated the talk that they had together. And always I feel like it grounds Nicole more. It also makes her a little bit more relatable. Like I said, I'm more of I am a Nicole fan too. Like I love Nicole and Danny. But I do like when they give her relatable moments because even her conversation with Anita was good. And you know why I think that those are so good when I think about it is because they're allowing Nicole to have a point of view with characters that she loves. That's why.
I like that. I like that.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just really, also with her telling Kat to give Nomas another chance and then is surprised that she actually did it. And I'm just like, girl, what's going on? But you don't even want to give, Ted another chance, but you're telling your daughter to and then defending Eva. Like, Eva, like, are we
Yes.
serious?
It was when, and I feel like I don't know if we have mentioned that last week or not, or it was like
Mm-mm.
previous conversations I had with someone. She did not hold Eva accountable for the role that she
At
played with that
all.
at all.
At all. And this is when I talk about like writing too sometimes. It makes it look like the writing is skewed towards Eva and Leslie no matter what they do. Like Kat just told her mother that her sister had, intercourse with her boyfriend. And she's still defending it and then saying, well, maybe your relationship wasn't that good if he could just go and do that. I mean, granted, that is true too. But that's not what somebody want to hear when they just find out that, somebody done slept with their man and then you tell them to go back with him, which is crazy, but you can't say it because you didn't go back to your man after he cheated. I'm like, what is happening here? Also with Chelsea telling the boy that,
Oh,
what is
she
it?
love you.
Why would you do that? I would if I was Kat, I would have been pissed. Pissed. And then that's the thing too, where it just feels like Kat's conversations are not honored. You've seen it with Chelsea, even though that was quote unquote by mistake, and then Always No Mas continues to do that when it comes to Eva. So yeah, and then in the same token, we have you know, Nicole not really being as supportive in my eyes to Kat, and then you have Leslie, Dana, Honolulu, Sherrod of it all pushing Eva towards.
Oh, oh, Miles, go get them. Even some like you encouraging her to consent, and I'm wondering if that's why when Eva had that realization, like, oh my God, I'm like my mama, because we see what your mama is like, and we see what your mama support. She doesn't
Exactly.
respect boundaries, and she doesn't respect relationships.
At all. And I do believe that that's like one of the things, because like I said before, and I'll keep saying it, like I did like Leslie, Dana, all her names, and Eva, but then when they continuously continue to win and just are on our screen all the time, and it's just like I, you're losing me. You're losing me. So, and I'm not gonna go back into that because we talk about that a lot because I'd be so freaking frustrated. But you know what? It is what it is. But anyway, going back to Kat Nomas and Eva, and I don't know. So, basically Eva, is able to worm her way to have a meeting with meet up to eat with Nomas who actually wanted to meet with Kat. And then, and that was also what was weird for me because if I run to go be with my man and I see him with the woman that he just slept with, that is also my sister, you think I'm gonna be that calm right now? Like, and then of course, like they're going back and forth. Nomaz actually stands up for Kat, and then they do it in the supply closet, and people hear it. I think that's when I checked out. I think that's when I checked out because if it was a real contender, like if No Miles was like a real like love interest for these women, I would have been all in for it. And now to be honest, I would have got my entire life, but I got nothing from that scene. Like nothing. I hated it because it just feels like she has a low self-esteem. She's degrading herself for a man. She's taking whatever she can get, also just so she can get the win up of her
That's it.
sister.
She compromising.
So wait, say it again.
She's compromising. She's
Yes.
compromising.
Yes, all of that. Like I don't know. What did you think about their whole encounter? Because I was so over it. I was so over it.
I too was over it, and I feel like my biggest thing is motive. Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Are you doing it for get back? Like you said, are you doing it to one up your sister? Or are you doing it because you genuinely want to? That's how regrets happen.
Yeah.
Like it's damn near manipulation.
Yeah. I can see it. I mean, and then it's like, are Eva and Kat both doing this, do they not realize that it just looks like they're trying to like one each other up? I mean, Kat basically, I feel like they both be basically saying it to be honest, and then they just do what
Yeah,
they do with Nomas, and he has
yeah.
no idea. He's so stupid. Like he's so stupid.
He a little slow.
Yeah, that's what he
He
started
like
to.
he's just like he because even during the conversation with Chelsea, oh, when she loves me,
Yeah,
yeah, she said that,
I'm like a
and
robot.
I'm
Oh, she
fast
loves
forward.
me. So,
It was really like I'm fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Like
That's how it is. It's like, what? And you know what? But you know what saved last week for me? You know what saved it?
Mm.
Bill and
Baby,
Andre. Andre
Andre looked up
specifically.
at him. He was like, I gotta get this food home to my wife while it's hot. Wifey, wifey love this. I was in there like he looked up at him.
I gotta take care of her because somebody else didn't. Like,
Now I'm not finna fumble man. Like,
I feel like Bill thinks he can punk Andre and he thinks Andre is weak, not only because of age, but also I'm gonna keep it a buck because of size.
yeah,
So seeing him in Orpha Jeans, like it felt like Andre was like, he was like a man. He's like, oh, you trying to test me? Oh, all
like
right.
it's so funny because the height difference for me was, and I don't want to say like fuck both of them now for real in real life, but the height difference for me was what we thought it was gonna be when Chris came back to the house with Ace on
Oh.
Love Island. Like that's how we thought it.
I
We
mean,
were
we
like,
did see
oh,
Ace's legs swinging. So.
we thought that's what was gonna happen, and like, oh, shout out to Brian. I saw him running in the Chicago Marathon yesterday. I forgot to
How's
mention that part.
that?
Yeah, he ran a marathon yesterday. But Sean Freeman even posted on his social media, he was like, yeah, stood up to big bad Bill Hamilton today. And I was just like, love that you know that we needed this as a scene because
Yes.
like
Oh
Orphan
my
Jeans went up.
God. The amount of people who I felt like used to talk mad-ish about Andre, how they flipped when they saw that scene. I said, yeah, yeah. Stop trying to play him, okay? Just because he's younger don't mean nothing. And just because he's shorter don't mean
Don't mean
nothing.
nothing.
He can still defend her. He's been defending her. And people always bring up Ashley. So what? And Danny is still freaking obsessed with Bill. Like you cannot use that as an excuse. Like, and you know me, I'm like women, black women always, power to the black woman, like type thing. But also, I also can look at things and be like, well, Danny is also doing the same thing. So, like I keep saying, at least they're honest with each other.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that you can do. And I keep saying, I think this is why their relationship is so refreshing to me because they are so honest. They know that each other are still fawning over people of the past. They just like, well, you know what? Let's see if this works. And I'm like, why not? Because they're both single. And to me, I love them. I think they're hot. And I keep always saying that I think they're hot. But I just really loved how like Andre stood on 10 toes and he said, he's like, I got money. I don't need her money.
I don't
You
need
must have
money.
forgot.
She ain't no damsel. Like, we good.
We
Like
are good. Oh my goodness, it was such a scene. But I do get a kick out of seeing Bill, being stressed and obsessive. Like, yes.
why he's with my daughter's mother. You want to say wife so
Yeah,
bad.
so
Like,
bad. And you ruined it. It was you. She would have still stayed with him even with all his cheating, but
yeah,
you lied.
Haley was the straw, and hey, and Danny is the straw for Haley because she up in that woman's house. Danny just standing there. What? She Bill? Come
Yep.
on out, Bill. Come out, Bill. Opening cabinets, looking under couch cushions. Baby, where that 6'4" man in that
Doing in a cabinet. Girl, if you don't get your ass up out of there, like,
what is she doing? Hollering up the stairs. I know you hear me, Bill. Come down right now. Oh, she's like, oh, you lost track of him? Oh, but he's not here. Like,
and I love that Danny was just getting her entire life and gloating because Bill and Haley have had the chance to gloat for months. It is now Danny's turn to shine, and I love that for her. Even her and Andre walking up to Bill, as he eats his breakfast alone, try to fajada. Like, I was just like, yes, let's talk about it. I just want him to beg more. That's all I need. I need him to I said this last week. He needs to be on his knees in the mud. And she needs to step in the mud and he needs to lick it off. Like I need that man to beg. But I just loved it. And her going around screaming like a banshee was like insane. But you know what? I'm here for it. So that was like the bright spot for me.
I love it. That was it for me. I don't think I have anything else for BTG.
Nope, none
That,
here for
yeah.
me either. So let's mosey on down to Bode. And Bode and the
Oh,
beautiful.
you mean the Lunatic Luna show?
Yeah, completely. Luna all up and through that through the entire freaking week. And now everyone basically knows now that she's alive. You had her go
You
to
want the
Finn.
fan?
Finn like lock her up.
He's Dad. I'm here. Are you happy to see me, Dad? When she started calling him Dad, like he don't even like her,
Don't
like,
even like her.
and it's so sad.
Cried as kept since she found out and he can't get away. And what was really funny to me, I was like, oh, he got jokes. She was like, do you have any good OBGYNs that you could recommend? He was like, yeah, the one in prison. I died. I was like, Finn is played by Tanner. I was like, Tanner, did you just do that on yourself? Because when he called Liam, puke or whatever, he added that in. So I'd be like, Tanner, is that you? Because that was funny. You got it there. So and he just brings her back to the Spencer house and they go in on him. I mean, like
And
Bill.
is she's living here? You brought her here, and Bill is just like, because Bill, you started all of this
All of it.
battle of the Bills, like y'all be
It's always a
starting
Bill
all
somewhere.
of this.
He did start it all and it just unfolded. And that's probably why he's going to be feeling even more guilty because of the situation that unfortunately his son is in right now, being essayed by a woman, and he was basically drugged and got drunk on purpose. So, and now Bill is dealing with the repercussions of getting that girl out.
Yeah.
And Luna's had so many chances, like I just can't. But even like. So also, Ridge and Taylor, they confronted Lee and she's feeling bad and da 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 that stuff. Like Lee, okay, girl. Um, there's that part. And
Because
also
then Luna is, oh, Grandma Lee saved me. Yay.
let me twist the knife a little bit more. But what I also thought was funny is Ben was like, "Yeah, I've been trying to reach out to Lee, but she's avoiding me." She don't want to hear that. Lee's like, you know what? Let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb.
She know what she did. And I'm trying to think who was the scene between. But they was like, Luna has always been this way. Like she was born with a little bit of being selfish and cruel. And I'm just, oh, who was it?
She
I
was
can't remember.
not at first, not like
But
this.
I can't remember who the scene was between this last week. But it just
Maybe
irritated
Sheila.
me to my soul. Maybe I think it was Sheila. I want to say it was Sheila and Finn, but I don't know. Like I know it wasn't Finn. I don't know, but like it literally was this week, and it was like she's she was born selfish and cruel, and it's like, how are you able to say that?
Yes. Yes. Like, because she came in from what I remember, and this is really going off of memory, y'all. It's been a minute since she came. She wasn't as bad. There was a total like shift in her character at one point, which I got because people were very upset about the Zende situation. Making it appear as though he essayed her when that wasn't really the case. So people were up in arms about that. I remember that they were pissed because that does seem to be a running theme, unfortunately, with Bold and the Beautiful. So, and then they don't want to really talk about the trauma that a person endures or how what their healing process will be or how it feels being a survivor. They continue to brush over it. That is Bode's thing, unfortunately, as they continue to do now with Will, and they never talk about Finn being groomed either. So I don't know, but Luna got a lot of issue with her. Sometimes she is funny, I have to admit. Sometimes I do get a chuckle out of how delusional she is. Like she really thinks this girl really thinks they're gonna be a family. Like I'm just like,
But he walked in the room. See, hey, Will. He walked in with his girlfriend, bro. Like, Luna, you need to quit looking at him with sparks in your eyes. He did not willingly have sexual engagement with you.
oh, she's like, we made love. No, y'all didn't. What are you talking about? And we created this beautiful life. I'm like, this girl is insane. Like, I just was like,
Then they turn, oh, who said she was 7 weeks pregnant? So now y'all want to move fast.
yep, yep. so they could get
This
that
happened
DNA test.
3 days ago. It happened, and now she been 7 weeks.
And the way that Bode moves, extra slow, yeah, that was something to be seen. Oh, and then like now, Deke took the pictures of the outfits or whatever, so he's gonna spute it up, and then he's just gonna be the star of Forrester Creations. Can we stop being so predictable? Like,
Like I don't know, like even the scene with him and
Hope.
Hope. She was just like, "Who's the new guy? Tell me who's here. Like, oh, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my roommate. Hey, Remy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how this goes."
We'll definitely see how it goes. And I'm like, because they would know Remy, but why wouldn't he would say his name? So I don't know because I don't know if Deke knows everything. Deke, little Eric, to me, I don't really know if he like knows like everything. But it is weird that he didn't just say his name. Like I
Yeah.
would have been like, oh, my boyfriend such and such. Like obviously, I don't know, but.
Okay.
They always got something up their freaking sleeves. So moving and moseying right on along to Days of Our Lives, that is. So basically I did feel like a lot was geared towards the Sophia week in the storyline of the baby and everything of that nature. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and I said this before, I've checked out of the baby storyline because I didn't like it. I didn't like how all of a sudden it was retconned and now that's not his baby. They gave no inklings, they gave no clue.
No, not at all.
He
Not at
had
all.
a scene with Aaron. They didn't drop one, and while she was pregnant, they didn't drop one little nugget, and now all of a sudden it's not his baby. And I feel like that was I feel like the new regime, the new writers didn't like the baby story and they were like, let's move this along because they moving too fast. Days don't even move this fast to like so they can keep it. But Sarah did confront her again. Of course, she got some remembrance of the truth. And then also so Holly decides that she wants to go to Paris to be with her mom because it's just too much ish going on, with her, the fire at the dorm and her being hospitalized, breaking up with Tate, da 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 da. And then Janelle, they work together to figure out everything. And basically they know that it was Sophia. That was another thing. They found that out super freaking quick. They're trying to get this story out the way. They don't move that fast. Like I don't care what nobody say. I've never
Because
seen
I
a
think
story
they
move this
know it
fast.
went too far. They went too far. They don't know where the direction or what the outcome is supposed to be. So they like, let's wrap it up. Because
Mm-hmm.
even in Sophia's conversation with, I want to say it was Sarah, and she was like, "So I know that that's my baby. Like now you admitting you saying everything true. I know that
Yep.
that's my baby. And we'll take DNA. Well, did you put my DNA? So now you're acting like that you know that it's a possibility of him not being the father as well. And it's like."
Exactly. Yeah. She did
If
look
it was an
surprised.
inkling, if it was an inkling before, the inkling should have came up.
It should have. And
It's not
that's
even a
my
wow
only
or a
gripe.
surprise. It's not even a wow or a surprise factor.
It's
It's the
not.
Viola meme when I grab my purse and I get up
Yeah.
because it's like
Yes. Yes. You get
I'm
that look like
over it. Like it's time to go. Like what is this? What is going on?
that is like literally how I feel. I was so invested in that story, and
Right,
now I'm just
right.
like womp womp. Like I said previously, I think it was just like the switch of imaginary baby, like you said, like that was just different to me because it's always a real
Yeah.
baby or a real baby that has passed on, unfortunately. So for them to do that, I just thought that that was creative and different. But I mean, if they like it, I don't love it. And then also with Brady, so Brady has really like figured out like, nah, that's probably her baby, and maybe Tate is not the father. So Brady really put on his John Black hat, acting like his daddy, to figure out who did it, what, and why, and get his son out of the situation. So
Mhm.
that's cool. Also Jeremy Horton is going to be a teacher. I would have thought they would have had him come back as a doctor, but I mean, hey, he said he has, healed and therapy and all of that other stuff because he was like kind of crazy. So, I mean, as long as he has, healed himself. And then we also have the Kyriakis family still fighting to get a hold of um Titan. I do like when they include Maggie in it. I don't know. I'm just a sucker for seeing like the vets. Like I just love it when they're integrated into like,
Yeah.
the older, younger adults. I guess that's how you could say it in the teens because she's in growth with these men as well who are in their 30s, 40s. And then like Holly, who's a teenager, and it just makes sense because of family connections. I'm such a sucker. Like I do
It's the
love.
history. It's the history. You like
Yeah,
it's like respect too.
exactly. And then last, the Chad and the Cat situation. So
Oh yeah.
Chad broke up with Cat because Thomas was not having it. I was also invested in that. It to me, it's just really funny. Like Thomas is like, absolutely not. We already know that Rachel told him about everything. And once he found out about that, he's like, no, his grandmother Jennifer is right behind him. Like, yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you.
It's
You
not.
can come home with me. Like type thing. So like how did you feel about them like breaking them up? Or any feelings?
I really like Chad and Kat, and we had talked about it prior too. But then when we talked about like the recast and how that was going to be different,
Yep.
so I was like, oh, well, let me not get used to that. But then I had
Hmm.
started to get confused, I think a couple of weeks ago, because like he was still on the canvas. I think it was like right before the blackout. And I was like, but if he's leaving, why are
Why
they
is he
still
still
connected?
here?
Why is, like, why are they still together? Why are they still cute? Why am I still having like hope for them? So maybe.
Well, he's been recast. So the
I
guy that
know. So I'm like, maybe that's one of the reasons why they like, let's break them up versus like having him automatically come in and say they a couple and they really don't have chemistry.
Oh yeah, I don't feel like they had any inkling on that they wanted to get rid of Chad. I don't think that was gonna happen. I think they like that character. He's also really integrated into like the Horton dynamic too,
Yeah.
since Abigail has passed on. So like low key, almost start thinking of his ass as a freaking Horton because he's
Mm,
he's always there. He's in that house. He lives there with them. I barely
that
think
is true.
I have to be reminded
That is
that he's a
true.
Demira.
That
So
is true.
yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. I think that that is definitely going to be a couple that they're going to keep with trials and tribulations, like any of these like soap freaking couples that they do. So I don't know, but I kind of like them too. The guy who played Chance is coming, but he looks good too. I think that he will be a good like part for it. So that's just me. Okay, so we done with days?
Yeah, I don't really have nothing else for the days of our lives.
Yeah, okay, that's no problem. Keeping it cute and keeping it short with them. And going on next, General
So of course
Hospital.
we have moving on down to General
The
Hospital.
last show we're gonna talk
Uh,
about, because y'all know we're not talking
General
about any of the
Hospital has some
wrestlers.
stuff going on in Port Charles this week. I mean, we talked about Nadra last week,
Yes.
so that was a breath of fresh air, especially for Ashley because we know that she loves them. But in the lives of Port Charles General Hospital, we have the tale of two baby daddies, and I'm feeling a little bit conflicted by it all with the whole Portia Isaiah Curtis storyline.
Who do you want to be the
But
daddy?
the minute she started to feel sick with Elizabeth, I knew that that was it.
Yes.
Like the minute I feel shaky, I feel wobbly. This lady pregnant. I bet my last paycheck that this lady is pregnant. And indeed she is.
Yep. So of course my question is, who do you want to be the daddy?
I really like Jordea. And
Me
I know
too.
pregnant by Isaiah, that's it.
True, true. But they just refuse to give Jordan a story. Because to me, I feel like in this I feel like it should have been Jordan, Isaiah, and Portia, not, you know, Isaiah, Portia, Curtis. And that could be because I don't like Curtis. I don't like the character of Curtis. I'll say it 20 million times. I don't. It is like it, but I will say this General Hospital, they love geriatric pregnancies. So, and I can say that because if I get pregnant, it will be geriatric. So I can say that. But they love
Like,
that.
look at Carly,
Carly,
Carly and right, Carly and Sunny went baby Donna.
yep.
Um
It was another one too. I can't remember. But There've been a couple. Like they love that.
Alexis with Molly was supposedly geriatric.
Yep.
Now you gonna
That
make mind.
and having two baby daddies. So when you did mention Jordea, and I love Jordea, I feel like they were cut short. I feel
Yeah.
like they wanted to pivot to a different story, which also sucked for anyone who was a Jordea fan. And now it's just like let's throw him in there with Portia and like kind of like see how it goes. At the end of the day, you're never going to make me like Curtis. That's just what it is. Like I just can't. I feel like this was just to give them a storyline and to give them a boost. I'm just tired of seeing Curtis in those women's orbit. I just would appreciate somebody new. But I did really appreciate Isaiah like stepping to him as a man. Like, listen, I don't give a goddamn if that's your wife. I don't like the way you're treating her. I was like, that was
Mhm. I
perfect for
agree.
me. Somebody had to. I don't feel like anybody ever really tells Curtis anything. At one point in time, Trina used to, but now
Yeah.
she don't even call him out anymore.
I was
So.
surprised to see her on the canvas this week, but I was happy to see her on the canvas this week because I feel like I haven't seen her since she tried to see if Drew had a pose. So like that's my thing.
If they did, they'll be missing. So, unfortunately,
That's my
they
thing.
they just got a lot of work to do. It just like I don't feel like they have enough like young adult cast and like the young old adult cast. Like I just don't feel like it's
Yeah,
enough of
the
them.
young old adult, because I feel like that's my class, and it's not a lot of them.
It's
But
not.
Gemma, let me tell you about Gemma, baby.
Oh, they were
I like
cute.
Gemma. I likes me some Gemma. They make me smile and kick my feet.
They are cute. And that's the thing. When GH wants to do something right, they can. I just feel like oftentimes they choose not to. I was about to say something. I, the only thing I'll say is I know that they hate the day that Liaison came, Jason, J Sam came, and Sprina came. I will say that those are the three fandoms that they hate the most, and nobody can tell
Pumped
me
it up.
otherwise.
You can't because you can't come back from it. The three that ever the greatest that and you know what, I will put liaison in there even though I really don't understand how it's like, I really don't get it. But you guys went crazy. You went crazy over it. Whoop de doo.
do
Okay.
good whoopty
Whoop de doo.
doopy.
Because I think mine that stand out, like you had the Luke and Laura era. Everybody loved Luke and Laura, which I didn't understand because it was an essay, then they went on the run,
Yeah, that was
came
weird. That
back
was
and went
before we were
away.
even born, girl. So we ain't gonna
So
get. We
that
don't
was
understand
weird.
it.
Um, the original Lucky and Liz were
Really
beautiful.
good.
I will
Yeah,
say that they were beautiful as well. Sunny and Brenda.
I was about to say that too.
Sunny and Brenda for sure too. Sunny and
hmm
Carly,
But they
original.
don't hate them. They hate the three I mentioned. They're okay with them, but they hate us.
But
They hate
I wonder what take is not their favorites.
us.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when you look back on certain clips, like General Hospital runs for 36 minutes.
Yeah.
No
Super
commercials, no boom,
short.
boom, boom. When you look back on clips back in the day, J Sam was averaging maybe 24 minutes an episode,
Wow.
26 minutes an episode. Sonny and Carly were averaging 26, 28 minutes an episode.
The
You
one with
all were,
Tamara's Carly, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And you all were banking an entire soap opera
Yep.
on couples.
Yep.
That's
That's not gonna
I
work. It
no way.
completely decimated the Quartermaines. Like took them out. When I say took them out, took them out. And they even refused to even bring the Baldwin back. They have Serena Baldwin. So instead of bringing
Yeah.
Serena Baldwin back, you decide to make up that her biological mama, Dominique, had another kid that nobody knew about. Like, why not bring her back? She would fit in great with the older young people, like our age demographic. She would go great since we can't have Sasha. Throw Serena in there. But we can't have nice things that talk about history. We can't get Dr. Tommy Hardy Jr. back. Y'all refuse to do that one and talk about that. Hopefully they'll actually allow Portia to have a fully black baby. Like we'll see. We'll, we'll see how that
My
goes.
chest. We shall see.
It has been years,
When is the
okay?
last time? I was gonna say, when is the
Well,
last time that a
Fully
black baby was
Black would have been Dad, what was their name? Claudia, and they were really close friends with Luke and Laura, and they had twin girls. The reason I can't include Dr. Tommy Hardy Jr. is because he was biracial. His mama was black and his daddy was white. So they had the biracial Dr. Tommy Hardy Jr. And before that, they had the twin girls that we've never saw again. And they were really close with Luke and Laura. Like that was Laura's best
I'm like,
friend.
it was never a black baby born on screen.
Well,
The sad
not
thing.
since like 1989 and 1981. I believe 1981 was when they had the twins. I could be wrong. I'm just going off of memory, y'all. And I believe Tommy Hardy Jr., who's biracial, was 1989. So we might get a fully black baby out on General Hospital. We'll see, but they'll probably make it be like, her and Curtis get into an argument and then she falls down the steps.
And you know, I was
Ah,
gonna say that, and I didn't want to say it, but I was gonna like, I'm thinking that like, is she really gonna be able to carry the baby to term? So
yep,
we shall see. We
yep.
we shall see how that whole thing is gonna play out.
We'll
I
see.
think if it was anything, the only thing, oh, Ronnie, Vicky, Nikki, Erica. She was in the kitchen of the Quartermain estate, and she
Mhm.
said to Tracy, "It's my house. Monica gave it to me."
I did chuckle. Some people
I
didn't like that.
chuckled.
I chuckled.
I chuckled. I chuckled because I was like, "Y'all trying to be smart," but then it was like a type of thing. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I don't know because we know that Erica's character is not going to stay long, so I don't know what like the end is going to be about that whole thing.
Yes.
I liked how she wrote for the Quartermains and was like, oh well, I got to read over this and see what this is about. And then oh y'all got the address wrong. They got the address wrong because the DA likes Sonny.
Yeah, she was too distracted by Sonny's oldest boyish charms.
That
So
little dimple, he throw
yes.
that dimple out, baby. They get weak in the knees.
Them women can't help it. I'm just like, now if you showed me 1990s Sonny or Sonny who was played Nico when he was on when
Oh,
Maurice
what was
played
that?
Nico on All My
Yes.
Children, I got it. I got it and I understand why they were weak in the knees. Okay? Like I completely understand. Nico and Cecilia, yay. But yeah, she was just too distracted by his charms.
How
But
about, oh
I
yeah, 65 Harbor View Drive.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah. All right, girl, sure. But shout out to Ronnie for actually knowing and calling it out. I always just love to
He
see
held them
them,
down.
her and Tracy go back and forth at it. Like that's just a
I
sparring
agree.
competition. Like I
I
feel like
agree.
they actually go to work with writing them two because they understand that they have like two legends on their screen. So let's make sure that we do it right. So I will give GH still kudos on that. So thanks.
I agree.
Um, even to like, I'll tell you this, Willow was getting on my last effing nerve. I do not care if Michael has all the power. He could dangle a freaking carrot stick in front of my face. If that means that I get to see my children, I am going to do it. I just didn't understand her apprehension at first. Because you got the power,
Like,
so.
so like, I mean, what am I gonna say? You want me to go and see them with the therapist? I'll see them with the therapist, and then you want to run and tell Drew, oh my children. They said I gotta wait till January, and I won't be able to see my children.
Hmm.
Willow,
Willow.
weeping Willow, you did
Girl.
this as well.
You.
You allowed for it to get to this point, and Michael was willing to work with you. So let's see what it's like for him to work with you, not work with Drew, work with you. And y'all trying to put this murder on Michael. I really don't even think that Michael is the one that
No,
did.
I don't. Michael didn't do that. Michael did not do that.
Oh, I said murder. Was that
Oop.
manifestation?
Well, we're all the way in, like we're an hour in. It's fine.
Uh, so, oops. So I just feel like at that point, I don't know.
Yeah. Same. I don't. When she tells Drew anything, I'm like, why? He is eternally selfish. He does not care about your kids. That man wants to have his cake and eat it too. One, he don't even care about his own kid. Why the hell would he care about yours and their needs? His
Exactly.
daughter wants to see her family, and he continues to block it and
He's
even put a restraining
so
order out on
vindictive.
them.
So
Girl!
vindictive for what? For power. That's why he was butthurt when I gotta go read. I gotta go. It's my mother's will. You ain't in the will. Like,
Scout is though, but you ain't. Monica had enough with you. Okay. Literally, Michael is her only biological grandchild. And as quiet as it kept, wealthy, rich people, that doesn't mean something to them. So it is what it is. And he's a boy, he's a male. Like, let's keep it in a buck. I'm very aware. So, of course, he was going to get what he needed to get. Do I think that she would have left Ronnie the house? No. So I think it's some trickery going on there, but we'll save that for when it's actually revealed. But there is a difference between Michael and Drew. Like the Quartermaines were fighting for years for Michael.
yeah,
Years to even just be in the same space and breathe the same air as him. Like, you are not the same, bruh. They didn't even know about you. They didn't even care. And then you went and you slept with his wife. Bro.
you shunned.
Bro.
You are shunned. All I'm is literally Lion King. You Kovu. You just got exiled. Like you can't come back. Like
Get
that's
him
like
that.
deception, disgrace. Like that is you, Drew. No more.
Yes. Yes. And they welcomed you with open arms. And this is
Yeah.
also why it's just so hard for me that this isn't Billy Miller's Drew. Like it's too hurtful. Like this is not Billy Miller's Drew. I literally have to separate and just be like, this is a whole new person. And that's just like what it is. I feel so bad about how they messed up that character though. I can't help it. It kind of just probably because I was a Billy Miller fan. So like it's like a douche type of situation. But yeah. And then I know you had mentioned too that Spinelli and Nathan had a nice little heart to heart.
Yeah, it just makes me kind of apprehensive with what's going on. Is this Nathan? Is it not Nathan? To be continued on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like, I think it's too early to tell. I think it's like
They probably
you
still
still
trying to figure that
apprehensive
out
of
them damn
it.
selves.
Britt don't trust it, but like he's soft like Nathan. He cares about James. He's like he deserves a good father. So I just, I think it's just a waiting game for that.
True, true. And on that note, that wraps up General Hospital thoughts. Do you have any like breakout scenes that you thought were good to you or
Um, David and Goliath.
same, same, Bill and I just
David and Goliath was a good
I
scene.
jumped on Soapwire TikTok so damn fast after I saw that. I had to talk about it. So yeah, I completely agree. That was a scene. Shout out to Sean Friedman. He was
Yeah.
like, nah, I could go toe to toe with the best of them. And Timon was that toe to toe. So
He
yeah.
did great. Puffed his chest out, stuck his head up. Love
Hmm.
that.
He said,
Um,
I as a man too. Okay. You got me effed up. Like, I loved it. I loved it. And on that note, that brings us to the end of the Soapwire podcast. Really quickly, please be sure to follow the Soapwire. Get ready for my list on TikTok, soap.wire. That's where we are. On Instagram, soap_wire. And then also on Blue Sky, just Soapwire together. Other people have their names, so we got to do what we got to do. And lastly, you can follow me on TikTok, which is lady2wise_ASA312. On Instagram, Twitter as lady2wise_ASA. And Blue Sky, lady2wise, no, underscore ASA. Need?
I am on Instagram under Neen_Amanda and Neen_the therapist. Blue Sky, Neen Amanda, no underscore. Twitter, Kiss My Neen. And I can't remember my TikTok, but I'll try to figure it out next week.
She'll figure it out next week and she'll bring it. So, on that note, thank you so much for joining the Soapwire podcast brought to you by the TV Cave every Wednesday at 8 a.m. We may have some times where we're late, but we'll try to let you know. Or we may have
Well,
some times where we actually take a rest. But on that note, have a good rest of your day. And thank you for joining the Soapwire podcast. Bye.
yeah.